So
I want to talk a little bit about success. You have met many of the most successful people on the planet. What makes the difference between people who can succeed and can't?
Oh, there's a lot of differences. I mean, it takes a lot of rare traits, generally speaking, to push you in the direction of success. It also depends on what you mean by success. So we could do this two ways. We could go after classical success, which is the sort of thing that you're talking about, perhaps.
Not like only money. It's like success when you feel happy and you have a good life.
Well, then there's lots of people who can. There's lots of people who attain that. I mean, I think you can.
But we can talk
attain
about
that.
success in their career and build companies and be a big hockey star, whatever.
Yeah, well, I mean, often you need a set of gifts, right, that are given to you at birth to be spectacularly successful at something, say, like sports. Then discipline, that's extraordinarily useful. Intelligence, that's very useful. The marriage of those two, I mean, if you have two people who are equally intelligent and one works twice as hard as the other, then the one who works twice as hard is much more likely to be successful. Yeah. Creativity is another useful attribute. Reciprocity, the ability to reciprocate, that's unbelievably useful. Almost all the people I know who are successful have very broad, well-functioning social networks. So even if they don't know how to do something, they know someone who knows how to do it. And they've maintained their relationships with those people, and they've done it with integrity. So they're trusted. So they have a network of trusted people around them who are highly competent. And so there's an ethical aspect to that, because you don't gather a group of highly useful people around you to trade with unless they trust you. And so honesty is a huge part of it. And I mean, I've seen people go into companies that were failing very dramatically. Competent people go in and with nothing other than their competence and their honesty turn the companies around completely. And that's very interesting to watch. And I've consulted in situations where that's been the case. So honesty is honesty. I think the only real natural resource, apart from air, is honesty. It's the basis for wealth. Because if two people treat each other honestly, they can take each other at their word and then they can cooperate. Otherwise, you know, like if I can't trust you, God only knows what you're up to. You're so complicated that we can't do something simple and straightforward and directed together, because we're going to spend all of our time trying to figure out what in the world is going on. And this is partly why so much poverty in the world is actually generated by corruption, rather than an absolute lack of material, an absolute lack of material. Corruption is a force that produces poverty like nothing else. So honesty, integrity, and then all the things that you can be gifted with: intelligence, hard work, the ability to compete, emotional stability.
How important is hard work?
Oh, very important, especially at the uppermost pinnacles of different careers. Because as you move up a hierarchy of competence, let's say, you surround yourself by people who are more and more like you, right? They have everything you have, right? And so maybe at the utmost pinnacle, you need a combination of 10 rare things, and you better be firing on all cylinders, on all 10 dimensions, because otherwise someone else will obtain the position. So the higher up you go in whatever you do, the more crucial it is that you do everything that you're doing right. People get taken out. You know, you see people very frequently, entertainers, for example, very, very talented people, and disciplined even. And, you know,
and very social too.
Social, sure, exactly. And they have a drinking problem, for example, and they're done. They're done. It takes them out, often when they're 27. Those are all. But trustworthiness is a huge part of it. You have to be able to take someone at their word.